Welcome back to the Mountain Weekend Show. We are on the Heber River, and I am joined by Steve Myers, and this is High Country Adventure. And boy, we just had an adventure. That was like a Class 3 right there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great Class 3 drop just right behind us. It was awesome.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. You called it the Mighty Heber, and now I believe it.
That's what I've been calling it for years, but yeah, you just saw it. It throws you for a loop.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You put me right up front. I don't know if that was the best plan ever, but for me, it worked out. I got a little splashdown, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, that was the purpose, get you up front right in the action.
A hot day like today, you're all for that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, you've been doing this a really long time, and that was the thing where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go in the front, because this guy knows what he's doing. You've been doing this since we both graduated high school, just about.
Right. We opened up in 1989 down in Provo Canyon, right by Sundance. And then we saw that there was more adventure up here. We can do a little bit longer of a stretch, a 4-hour stretch with like the Class 3 rapids you just saw. So we opened up here just about 5 years ago.
And talk to me about the difference between these two places, because obviously the Heber, a little different than the Provo. You're gonna see a few more fishermen probably on the Provo.
Absolutely, yeah. Down on the Provo, it's super serene. I mean, you've been down there, you got Bridalveil Falls, Sundance, super lush. It's a little bit smaller of a stretch, little more intro for the kids and stuff, whereas up here, a lot more action, a little less fishermen up here.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, taking the kids out for the first time, you don't want to take them on a Class 2 or Class 3. You really want to give them a float trip, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. This one, you need to be 8 years of age or older. That way you can handle it. Down there, we can take any age.
So talk to me about, you know, the type of people who are coming and booking with you guys and going out and riding.
Most of our clients are tourists that come into Park City. They're from all over. They're from the East Coast, they're from California, they're from Texas, and they've never really experienced stuff like this. They don't have the mountains like Utah has, so that's why they flock here, see us, and it's a good, like we've been saying, intro to whitewater rafting. And then we do have the locals that they don't have the equipment, and so we rent them the equipment. They're experienced, and so we can let them go.
Really? So I could come and rent from you, take it out myself, and go right down the Heber?
Yeah, if you've got experience, not the Heber, but down on the Provo. Down on the Provo, if you have experience, that little 2-hour stretch, we'll provide all the gear, life jackets, paddles, the rafts, give you a little course, you know, a roadmap for what you're going to be experiencing, and then people that have experience can go on their own.
That's awesome. Now, of course, we come up here, it's always nice to have a guide on the Heber. That's a good plan because there are some serious rocks here and some eddies and things that'll kind of throw you for a little bit of a loop. Talk to me about how this river kind of came to be pretty exciting, because there was a time when it was a lot like the Provo.
Exactly, yeah. That upper stretch up there by Heber, it's a little bit more mellow. But down here, actually in the town of Morgan, they've got these man-made diversion dams that make the Class 3 drops as you just experienced. There's 3 of them, and after the farmers built those dams, we noticed that we could get to them and have a fun ride.
Yeah, I'll say it's fun, and that's, you know, that's the neat part. You've got a little bit of calm, a little bit of excitement, and then boy, you got a big ride coming.
This is actually the very end of people's trip, so they get a few rapids up above, they get the boulders, and then this is how we end your trip with 3 Class 3 rapids, boom, 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 and then trip ends. So it's a great way.
And that's a good way to end what's essentially about a 4-hour ride altogether?
Yep, 4-hour ride from up in Heber down to the town of Morgan, 4 hours.
Talk to me about what you like about this best. What is the best part of this business for you?
For me, it's about getting to know new people that have never ever been whitewater rafting before. I've been in the tourist business since I was a teenager doing snowmobiles, and now this, and you meet people. I've met people from Brazil, I've met people from Europe, I've met people from just about every state in the U.S., and that's what I love about it, is people getting to see nature and the outdoors for the first time and seeing the smile it puts on their face.
Yeah, and of course you've got some really great people that you surround yourself with, other people who know how to navigate these waters, how to make sure that everybody's having a fun time and they're safe.
Absolutely, yeah. All of my guides are first aid, CPR certified. They have experience, so they're licensed through the state of Utah. You know, and that's what most people prefer, you know, because not too many people have the experience, so that's why our guides are provided here on the Heber.
Talk to me about the legacy of this business. This is a family-owned business. Do you have occasion to look back at some of the photographs of Dad doing these things, especially with you guys?
Absolutely. It started with snowmobiling in the early 80s.
That was up in Cardsman, right?
Cardsman Pass, just right above Deer Valley. We were right there below McHenry's Grill. And so we got to know that whole area before all the construction. And then in the summers, we lived down in Provo. We kept driving by the Provo River, and so the light bulb went off. We can raft that part, and
especially when you knew that water when it was snow.
Exactly, exactly. You could see all the snow coming into Deer Creek and the spring runoff in April and May, and so. Yeah, we were just looking through old photos of the early '90s. It's funny to look back 25 years later.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but yeah, when we look back, suddenly they're not black and white photos, but they might as well be.
Exactly. They're faded. They're super faded.
Indeed. Well, the sport of this is not faded at all. We've had a great time today out here on the Heber, and of course, we're going to go and get a little time on the Provo as well.
Yep, we're headed down there right now. It's not too far away, and we'll get to see a whole new side of rafting.
All right, well, you'll want to stay tuned with us here on Park City Television on the Mountain Weekend Show as we get out on the Provo next.